Pakistan. The two leaders talked on the phone, and Islamabad released a transcript. That amounts to a violation of diplomatic protocol. The U.S. president-elect is quoted as calling Nawaz Sharif a terrific guy who is doing amazing work. Trump apparently said he felt like he was talking to a person he had known for long. And he then told the prime minister that Pakistan is an amazing country with tremendous opportunities. The president-elect's office put out a statement saying the two had a productive conversation about how the United States and Pakistan will have a strong working relationship. But the Trump team did not answer inquiries from CNN on whether those were Mr. Trump's actual words. If they were, they're very different from what he said in the past. In 2000, our friend. Then back in October, Mr. Trump said if elected, the U.S. would be best friends with India, Pakistan's longtime adversary. Now, under Barack Obama, the U.S. has made diplomatic progress with India, strengthening ties on climate, defense, and trade. In contrast, relations with Pakistan have been rocky at times, particularly after the U.S. raid at Osama bin Laden's compound in Pakistan. It's not known how U.S. relations with Pakistan and India will play out under a Trump presidency, but India has long said it won't accept interference on territorial disputes. Meanwhile, Trump has not lost sight of domestic issues. In a few hours, he is to travel to a factory in the U.S. state of Indiana after a deal was struck to keep jobs in America. It comes as he takes hits from critics for turning to Wall Street to assemble his economic team. Jessica Schneider has more.
President-elect Donald Trump heading back into campaign mode, embarking on a thank you tour in swing states that won him the White House. Trump will hold a rally in Cincinnati tonight after taking a victory lap in Indiana, celebrating a deal with Carrier to keep at least 1,000 manufacturing jobs from moving to Mexico. Carrier, a state run by Trump's VP, Mike Pence. This as Trump's cabinet continues to take shape. The search for Secretary of State narrowed down to these four candidates. Close Trump advisor Newt Gingrich hammering Mitt Romney after his high-profile dinner with Trump Tuesday night.
You have never, ever in your career seen a serious adult who's wealthy, independent, has been a presidential nominee, suck up at the rate that Mitt Romney is sucking up.
Trump also facing blistering criticism from the left over his newly appointed economic team. Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren slamming Trump's pick for Treasury Secretary, former Goldman Sachs executive Steve Mnuchin, who headed a firm that made big money off the 2008 housing crisis.
He promised when he was running for president that he would break the connection between Wall Street and this Congress. And then what does he do? He turns around and picks a guy who had actually been one of the people who helped do all of those lousy mortgages.
Take someone like Steve, who understands how the system works, how we can go and make it more fair, how we can go and help American workers to get in there and actually change it.
Capitol Hill also reacting to Trump's announcement with no details as of yet that he will separate himself from his billion-dollar empire.
You've got to be very, very careful on conflicts of interest. Sooner or later, this had to happen. And I suspect he's probably not very happy about it, but it's just one of those things that had to be done.
The Office of Government Ethics sending out an unusual series of tweets applauding Trump's pledge and encouraging the president-elect to divest his assets, a commitment that Trump has not yet made.
And that was CNN's Jessica Schneider reporting. Turning to the Korean Peninsula, Seoul is applauding strong new sanctions on North Korea. The UN Secretary General says that they are the toughest ever imposed by the Security Council, but will they be effective? Simon Mosen takes a look.
Defiant and definitive, North Korea's launched more than 24 prohibited ballistic missiles this year alone. And on September 9th, state TV announced Kim Jong-un's fifth successful nuclear test. U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Samantha Power, says one Korean official likened the atmosphere